Okay, it's gonna work. All right. So in this worksheet, I've got just kind of a variety of things. All right, some of the things that we've talked about for the past basically 3 weeks. This is kind of tricky, okay? First of all, what do I know about all three of these angles?
They're 180.
They add to 180, right? What do I know about these two angles that are labeled X?
They're vertical?
No, they're not vertical. If they're both labeled X, that means they're equal, okay? If this one's X, so is that one. So if this one's 25, so is that one. If this one's 48, so is that one. That's what it means when they're both labeled the same thing. All right, so back to the first thing. You said that they all add up to 180.
Yeah.
So how do you think I'm going to be able to find X here?
180 plus 76.
Nope.
Subtract.
We're going to subtract 76. 180 minus 76. That gives me 104. But think about that. Think. All we have done so far is basically take this one out of the equation. We took 180 degrees and we took out 76. That tells me that these two angles together make 104. Together make 104. How can I find what just one of them is?
Subtract 104.
Nope. We took this one out. Together, X and X make 104. How many X's are there? So these two angles make 104. We're going to take 104 and we are going to divide it in half, because that's what we've got here, is we've got two of them. So 104 divided by 2 gives me 52 degrees. So what I'm telling you is that these two angles are 52 degrees. It said find X. X is 52. How can I check this real quick?
I don't know.
Add all three of these together. What is that? I scribbled it out and I can't see it.
It should be 180.
76? Okay, so I'm going to do 52 plus 76, 180. Okay, so 52 is right. This is the key here, knowing that because there was two angles that were the same, we needed to divide it by 2. Okay? All right, let's look at example 2. This you can barely see, but what does this mean?
It's right angle.
It's a right angle. And how many degrees are in a right angle?
90.
90. All right, so they told us that that one's 90. Without actually telling us, they told us. Now this one's very similar to the previous one. What do we have here? What's AB?
There's no linear here.
It's not a linear pair. Pair means 2, but it is a straight line. We got a straight line here. So all 1, 2, 3, 4 of these angles add up to how much? 180. So if I know 1, 2, 3 of those angles, can I find the other one? How? If they all add up to 180, what do I need to do? Let's subtract. Well, you could add them together, or you could just subtract 26, subtract 90, and subtract 32 all at the same time. If the calculator can do it, I don't mind doing that. I'm going to take 180, and I'm going to subtract 26, subtract 90, subtract 32. That leaves me with 32 degrees. So X must be 32. Question about that one? Does that make sense? Why we subtracted them all from 180? Because they all make 180. All right, example 3. Now pay close attention to this one, because I almost guarantee that this one's going to be on the test with different numbers. So this is something that we have not really talked about. These lines, because of this symbol, that symbol right here, these arrows, this means these lines are parallel. We have parallel lines. So this one's kind of crazy. If I'm looking at these parallel lines, and I'm going to ignore the triangle for right now. I'm just not ready for that yet. If I'm looking at these parallel lines, we would call this line my transversal, right? Okay. Does anybody remember what the relationship between this angle and this angle is called? They are corresponding. Good, they're corresponding. Think about this. They're not alternate interior, because this one's the only interior one. They're not alternate exterior because this is the only exterior one. These are corresponding angles. Corresponding angles are what? They're equal. So if this one's 82 degrees, that one's 82 degrees. Now I'm going to look at the triangle. Now that I've got this one figured out, that this one's 82, I could figure out this angle, right? What do these two add up to? 180, because they form a straight line. So let's do 180 minus 82. That gives me 98. This angle right here is 98. Why does that help me find x? Why does this 98-degree angle, why is that what I did? Why does that help me? Because now I can find x, but y'all got to tell me how. Add what together? Okay, good. We have the two angles in a triangle. We can find the third one. 98 plus 43. 141. And then subtract that from 180, right? So x is 39. This one would be 98. We don't really need it now that we found our x. It's 39. We can quit now on that one. All right, this is probably the last hard one on here, and it's really not that hard. Example 4, okay? Example 3, I put a star by it. That's the hardest one on here, for sure. Y'all ready for example 4? Okay, this symbol, what did I just tell you guys this meant?
Parallel.
These lines are parallel. It, for some reason, helps me to trace and extend my parallel lines. I don't know why, but it has always helped me do that. So these lines are parallel. That makes this one a transversal. Anytime you have a transversal, you're looking for some relationships. You're looking for corresponding. You're looking for alternate interior. You're looking for alternate exterior, or whatever you can find. Tell me, what's the relationship between this angle and this angle? He's got it. They're alternate interior. Do y'all see that these are alternate interior? Okay, so if I can find this angle, y is going to be the same. How do I find this angle using this? You got it. Those add up to 180. So 180 minus 124 gives me 56. That means this angle's 56. So what is y? 56. They are equal. Alternate interior angles are equal. Don't forget that. Okay, examples 5, 6, and 7. Really won't be a whole lot to be done on these. You'll just need to remember your angles. You got this? Okay, let's look at 5. We're going to use this 46-degree angle. What's the relationship here? What do we call these? Yep, alternate exterior. And alternate exterior angles are equal. So if this one's 46, what's A? 46. Nothing really needs to be done there. That's it. I told you this lesson was really just kind of combining it, mixing it all together. How about on example 6? What's the relationship between these two? Those are same side interior. Good. Because they're on the same side right here, and they are interior. Now remember, same side interior angles are not equal. These are the only ones that are not equal. Look at them. They add up to how much? That's our magic number. Remember, a lot of things add up to 180. So to find angle B here, what do I need to do? No. These add up to 180. I know one of them. We're going to subtract it from 180. I got 134.
Nah, it looks fine.
It ain't. We'll get there. It ain't though. All right, example 7. Last one like this. What's the relationship here and here?
No, alternate.
Those are alternate interior angles. They're alternate because one's down and one's up. They're alternating, but they are both interior. And alternate interior angles are equal. So if that one's 46 degrees, what's C? 46 degrees. All right, let's do example 9 before we do 8, because example 9 is like those 3 that we just did. Y'all ready? All right, now this one only looks complicated. You only said that because there's a lot of variables, but they've given us what we need. First of all, these symbols mean these lines are parallel. So that means we're looking for corresponding, we're looking for alternate interior, we're looking for alternate exterior, we're looking for whatever we can find. Okay? Telling us this one is 48 degrees gives us all we need to know. I don't care, which one do y'all want to start with? We can find any of those right now. X, Y, or Z, where do y'all want to start? Well, I heard 3 different letters. X, all right. He says X. That's a good place to start because what's these relationship? Those are corresponding, so that means X is 48. Yep. That can help us find Y because what are these angles? Vertical. And vertical angles are equal, right? So this one's also 48. But you know what? Just side note, these 2 are alternate exterior, right? And they're also equal. So we also already know that that's 48. So our last one to find is Z. I'd go back down here to this one. What should these 2 add up to? 180? So to find Z, we're just going to do 180 minus 48. And that gives me 132 for Z. So it really wasn't that hard. I just asked for 3 different things, but they were pretty easy. Pretty easy. All right, last one. Example 8. Finding angle C. And this is kind of like what we did on yesterday's, but probably easier than those even. So I want to find this angle. Ideas? Tell me what to do.
180.
Okay, so that's going to give us this one, right? Good idea. 180 minus 82. That gives me 98. So that means this angle's 98 degrees. All right, we're going to take these 2, add them together. Yep, 98 plus 22. That is 120. And then what do we do with 120? 180 minus 120. That tells me the third angle is 60. So angle C there is 60 degrees. Let me check that real quick. I'm going to take my calculator. I'm going to add up the 3 in the triangle. 60 plus 98 plus 22, 180. Okay, we're good.